Hello everybody, how you guys doing? This is good old Grandmaster Evan here. Now, wrestling has been around for a long time. Some companies been around longer than the other. Some were bought out, some merged. Now, I would say that wrestling is something that's been around for a long time and will continue to be around for another long time. Now, the question in the video is, has wrestling changed for the better or for the worse? That's the question for the fan. Of the fan, for the fan, from the fan themselves. Now, ever since the issue with the WWE superstars and Twitch and YouTube and other platforms, Zelina Vega got fired. She got fired. And just for posting the thing about unionization. Because if they could do it with the NBA, NHL, MLB, NASCAR, I think that wrestlers, they're independent contractors. They work, they get paid based on their contract. Well, you see a few like Xavier Woods and Asuka and who are on YouTube. And, Xavier Woods in his gaming channel, up, down, down, and then Asuka's with her channel. And nobody says anything. Nobody says anything. Well, you've seen Lana, Rusev, Paige, Zelina Vega, other WWE superstars on Twitch. They're not using their gimmick name; they're using their real name. Vince McMahon and the WWE heads gave them 90 days. 90 days. And so I think that they wanted the superstar to hand over their Twitch account to the company so they can make money. Isn't Vince McMahon and his family already billionaires and shit? The WWE is worth up in the hundreds of billions, around tens of billions of dollars. They own archives of other promotions like World Class Championship Wrestling, AWA, NWA, WCW, ECW, all those shit like that. Smoky Mountain Wrestling and other promotions. That stuff. So, Zelina Vega went back to her Twitch. And Twitch, you can make some good money, even on YouTube, before they decided to just cut by 90%. But if you play by the rules here on YouTube, you still maintain your 100% profit. And so, as a fan, I'm still a fan, and every now and then I'll go onto YouTube and I'll watch some old wrestling from back in the day. You know, WCW, NWA, Georgia Championship Wrestling, old wrestling programs. Before the whole entire internet boomed, and I think this is my opinion as a fan. I've been a fan since I was a kid. I saw my first wrestling match on TV. I seen the Moondogs. I don't know if it was WWF or NWA or AWA. They were in a tag team against a couple other guys. Tag team match. What was I do? Pretty cool. And but when a promoter gets too control happy, they get too they get this power trip, and the way it works in the WWE. See, for the longest time they wouldn't sign any independents wrestler but if you go and watch. If you go and watch in person, independent promotions, the wrestlers, they're doing stuff that would be considered dangerous back in the 60s and 70s and 80s because Mexico and wrestling in Japan became like this circus. You see all these wrestlers go and do these aerial stuff that you wouldn't think it would happen back in the day, but I remember watching AAA and the wrestlers were just like, man, when they jump off the top rope or top turnbuckle, they fly. The elevation. The elevation is like, it's like the elevation is like way up there. It's like they're going to be up there forever because the way they just, it's like Rob Van Dam's 5-star frog splash. He could get up to an elevation, a high elevation, and hit that frog splash. And with such aerial ability and landing and force of the frog splash. And plus you didn't see the super kick until Chris Adams did it in the 80s. Chris Adams was the first one to do the super kick. Him and Jimmy Garvin when they were working for WCCW, working for Fritz Von Erich, and they had a rivalry, and Chris Adams, used a super kick. And the kick was freaking devastating, man. He could hit you at all angles, all of a sudden, pop! Decked your jaw, and you're out. You're out, man. But the super kick has been overly used, like the spear and shit, dude. the spear and the super kick has been overly used. Because if you look at Dolph Ziggler, if you look at Kevin Owens, if you look at that one guy who's in NXT, he used to be the NXT champion. John Morrison used it. Shawn Michaels used it. I mean, he kind of perfected it in the WWE to a certain point, But it wasn't called the super kick. It was called the sweet chin music, which is like, okay, it's like there's a fluidity of Shawn Michaels' moves. Okay. But Marty Jannetty also uses the super kick too, but not as much as Shawn Michaels. And but when I first saw the spear, I want to tell you guys something here. When I seen Bill Goldberg use the spear, it was like you could be 7'2", 500 pounds. You could be 7'3", 420. No matter what size you are, height. If you're above 6'2" and up, and you're hit with a spear, I'm gonna be honest with you. Between Bill Goldberg and Roman Reigns' spear, see, Roman Reigns uses a spear like an RKO. He could hit you at any point. I mean, look what he did to Shane McMahon, dude, during the Survivor Series. Shane McMahon was going to do the coast to coast, and all of a sudden, out of the blue, in midair, Roman Reigns got up, pop, hit him with a spear. Okay, a spear. And I mean, I don't mind seeing the spear, but if there's different variations of it, that's cool. But if you overly use the move, you're making it not worth anything, Now I want to go to this Twitch thing here. Paige is in hot water with the WWE right now, and I'm sitting there and I'm hearing about this. I'm reading about this. I'm like, she ain't wrestling. Okay, she ain't wrestling. She hasn't been in the ring since her neck injury caused by Sasha Banks, who's another Emmy Award winner and shit like that. By the way, Sasha Banks did have her nude pics put on the internet, so Paige shouldn't have to be fired over having a Twitch account. No. Every person has a right to have a Twitch account. I mean, it doesn't matter if you work for the WWE, AEW, whatever company you're working for. There's no problem with having a Twitch stream. Vince McMahon is a control freak, a power-hungry, control-freaking motherfucker, dude. I can understand he's a wrestling genius, marketing genius in a way. WrestleMania, the first WrestleMania, boom. How he did it. The NWA had Starrcade, Okay, Starrcade and War Games. These were the biggest pay-per-views of the time. So Vince McMahon planned these pay-per-views right at the time when Halloween Havoc comes around. Starrcade, the Great American Bash, because he was competing with his companies, taking the wrestlers and shit, paying them more money. The more money he paid, hey, they're gone. They're gone. The first company he did that to was Verne Gagne. Okay, but Verne Gagne wasn't a smart business guy. Hogan did Rocky. Was it Rocky 2 or Rocky 3? And Verne Gagne wanted a cut of the profit of the movie because Hogan was in the Rocky movie. And if you're a promoter, here's the thing: if one of your wrestlers ends up in a movie like Rocky 2, what was it? Hogan was in what, Rocky 2 or Rocky 3? Verne Gagne wanted a cut. I don't know if Vince McMahon does that. Kane had his own movie. Edge was in Highlander at the end game. Kevin Nash was in The Punisher with John Travolta and shit in it. He was a tall Russian guy, Hogan did Suburban Commando, which totally flopped, totally fucking flopped and shit. Rey Mysterio was in Freddy vs. Jason. Guy didn't know that? He was a stunt guy where he just like Freddy Krueger, and which is pretty cool. But at the time, you didn't see, now, you don't see promoters, say, look, we want a cut of the movie you're in. We want a cut, you don't see promoters wanting a cut if a woman that worked for the company ends up on Playboy or Penthouse or Hustler, We want a cut of those titty money. Sorry, ain't gonna happen, Roddy Piper did They Live. Just Returned did Predator. With Carl Weathers and Arnold Schwarzenegger. And there's, in my opinion, there's nothing wrong with wrestlers unionizing, because you unionize, you get benefits, health benefits, and shit like that. Promoters would want to pay that, Vince is like totally against unionization, unions of wrestlers and shit, Yeah, we want benefits, we want health care, eye care, just benefits. Where if we retire, we'll have retired benefits for life. But the whole Twitch thing with Paige, Paige should not have to hand over her Twitch account to anybody, because that's her money thing there. That's how she's making money. She ain't wrestling, since her injury, I think that if the WWE wants to get involved with Twitch, they could have their one of their web fuckers create an account for the WWE to have a foothold in the thing. But you cannot, as a company, as a wrestling organization, you cannot say, we want you to hand over your Twitter, your Facebook, your Twitch, your YouTube, whatever it is, to us, so we can monitor what you're doing. Right? It's bullshit, you know. It's bullshit. I mean, it's really chicken shit, you know. I think, you know, I mean, plus the WWE has this clause in each contract of every wrestler, okay, man or woman, or if you're a referee too. 90-day clause. If you were fired, released, or if your contract expires, you cannot go to another promotion for 90 days. 90 days. Right? That's bullshit, you know. I think if you're fired, that clause should be null and void. If you were released, that clause should be null and void. Same as if your contract expires, should be null and void. You know, Sin Cara, the first Sin Cara got in trouble because he wrestled in AAA in Mexico, which in the mind of Vince McMahon, he violated the 90-day rule. Can't wrestle for 90 days. 90 days. That would piss me off. If I want to go somewhere else, I'm going to go somewhere else. Brock Lesnar, he violated that rule when he went to New Japan. They sued Lesnar. He didn't give a shit. He wanted to work. He wanted to wrestle. He went to New Japan and became the World Heavyweight Champion. Lesnar doesn't give a shit about Vince McMahon's 90-day rule. You can't wrestle for another promotion for 90 days. Fuck you. I want to work somewhere else where I can make some good money. No? I would make some good money, man. Shit. But Vince McMahon has always been a power-hungry control freak, you know. When Hogan left for WCW, if any wrestler that went to another promotion, like what Hogan did, he would consider that walking out on Vince McMahon. No, what Hogan did was he did it for Hogan himself. Okay, Hogan did it for Hogan. Okay, because there was some issues between the two which nobody knows. Which, because of the scandal, there was a shoot episode on SmackDown years ago. Vince said, I don't hate Hulkamania, I hate you. To Hogan. When Vince brought up the steroid games, every wrestler knew that Vince was pushing steroids. He wanted his guy to be big, He wanted his guys to be big, Look at Brian Cage. Brian Cage started out his career in Lucha Underground. Then he went to Impact. now he's at AEW. Brian Cage is from my hometown here in Fresno, California. And I mean, I'm surprised that Vince didn't pick up Brian Cage, sign him to a good contract. You know, Brian Cage is a big old dude. You know, and don't know why he surprised he didn't go to the WWE. But I tell you that there would probably be a rivalry between him and Triple H, because both guys are buffed up guys, but really, you know, tough guys. You know, but Triple H, he's what, 52. Gonna be 52 and shit. But in my best opinion on this, and my thoughts, on here, you know, I mean, look, the stars of the WWE didn't use their gimmick names. They used their real names on Twitch, and even on Twitter, you know. But on here. I mean, he gave them up to 90 days, 30 to 60 days, to give up Twitch. Give up Twitch. You know? And I'm thinking, you know what? Because they were seeing how much money that they were making, besides the money that they're getting from the WWE. Yeah, it ain't good money. Someone thinking like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go over here and make some damn good money, some big money, which actually you're not gonna be making big money at all. I mean, it don't matter if you work for WCW, ECW, Impact, New Japan, whatever it is. You're not gonna make that big money, okay? You're not. You will be making money, but the only person who'll be making the most money is Vince McMahon, okay? You know, the guy is so power hungry. Check this out, okay? Ring of Honor wanted to do a show at the Madison Square Garden, okay? The biggest venue in the world, okay? Vince got pissed, okay? The New York area Vince runs, which shouldn't make a fucking difference, period, okay? Should never make a difference. If you're Ring of Honor, if you're ECW, if you're New Japan, if you are AEW, right? TNA, Impact, whatever you are, you have every right to use that venue as the WWE has over the years. Whether you want to use Madison Square Garden for a venue show, or if you're running a Twitch streaming, you will run into some roadblocks, okay? I'm not saying that WWE is bad, I'm just saying how it's treating its wrestlers, you know. Zelina Vega, beautiful Zelina Vega, beautiful brown eyes, gorgeous smile, holy Jiminy Crickets, folks, you know. I love their work in the WWE as well as TNA, Impact TNA. Her and Serena. They were treated better. She was treated better at TNA than the WWE. She didn't get a push She got one shot at the women's championship against Asuka. One shot. That was it. They should have pushed more people. Kind of take the top people off for a bit and bring up more others. Kind of give them that push. But there's one rule that the WWE has, is that you're not allowed to push yourself. Okay. Zack Ryder, who's now with AEW, and Damien Sandow, they were doing well with the fans. The fans began to love these guys. Damien Sandow was busting out of the shadows behind The Miz, man. When The Miz had that gimmick where Sandow was the stunt double, and he started to do the moves that if the Miz was getting hit with a punch, Sandow would do the reaction of he got punched. So he was kind of like the stunt guy, and the fans began to love it. They started to love Damien Mizdow, and I liked it because it was funny. The company started to bury a lot of people. For example, Natalya. Okay, Natalya. They were burying her with a gimmick where she would fart. But the funny part about it is the reaction from Santino Marella and Hornswoggle. I actually fell off the couch laughing my ass off till I was dumped over in pain and laughed my ass off over that gimmick of Santino. The timing was perfect, dude. The timing was perfect, but whatever she did, I don't know why they buried her with this shit here where she was farting, and they were burying Sandow as well as Zack Ryder, because Zack Ryder had his own internet thing. He had his internet championship belt. The guy was getting himself over with people. The people loved what he was doing. And he had 2 titles: the IC Championship, the US Championship, and the tag belts. I think the WWE missed something with Zack Ryder. They totally missed the spot with Zack Ryder, in my opinion. The guy was talented dude, man. They totally dropped the ball on Zack Ryder. No bullshit here, But firing Zelina Vega because she tweeted that she supported unionization. That's not the best way to fire somebody because they said something on their Twitter page, Because Jesse Ventura wanted to unionize the wrestlers, so they could have better benefits when they retire, whatever. Hogan told Vince McMahon knew about it. He was asked about it by Ventura's lawyer. Hogan totally ruined it, man, because every wrestler could have gotten. If Hogan didn't snitch, Hogan's this fucking snitch. The guy's a fucking puss, dude. You may be a fan of his, but he's a puss. I think that again, the question is: has wrestling changed for the worse, a better, or for the worse? I would say more now with Impact and AEW, it's for the better. New Japan for the better. Okay. But the WWE for the worse. For the worse. Now, you have female wrestlers in that company that have not gotten a push. No. They're totally bearing Asuka. No. Talented. I mean, full energy, high energy. Just total excitement. They're bearing her to you. I think Sasha Banks overrated, way overrated. Carmella, she needed a push. Give her the belt. Bayley has gone overrated herself. She's finally that Swicked Clean bullshit and got into that darker side of herself, which needs to be done. Bianca Belair deserves a push. Dana Brooke needs a push. Sonya Deville, push. Dana Brooke, push. I think there are wrestlers in the company to Matt Riddle, push. But Goldberg, dude, you're retired. You're a Hall of Famer, man. When you look at you don't see Hogan up there challenging McIntyre. You don't see the Big Show doing it. You don't see Mark Henry doing it. You don't see because they're retired, man. They've done things for 35, 40 years. They're done. Hogan's in his late 60s and shit, almost in his mid late 60s and shit. He's done. He's been there, done that. AWA, WWE, WCW, you name it, TNA, you name it, whatever. Flair. He ain't gonna do it. He's in his 70s, man. Shit. See old ass Ric Flair challenging for the fuck that shit, man. It would make the WWE the laughing stock in professional wrestling. Okay. Sting, I can understand you want to keep wrestling, but dude, you're in your late 60s, man. What the fuck, dude? Ronnie Garvin retired when he was 42 years old. He retired because he said, I want to stay active until I die in the ring. So he retired at 42. He said, retiring at this age is the right time. Undertaker's 59, gonna be 60 here pretty soon. Next was it? He'll be he's 58, gonna be 59 this year. Come on. Kevin Nash retired. Dude. Scott Hall retired. DDP retired. All those guys retired, man. They are no longer in this shit, In the description, there's a link to the original wrestling documentary. on YouTube. OWD. And it tells stories of each promotion throughout the years. And the controversy and all other shit. And also check out Vice's The Dark Side of the Ring on Vice. And so if you're new to the wrestling business thing there, check it out. But yeah, check it out. The original wrestling documentary on YouTube. I watch it every now and then, but the channel uploaded a video about 4 months ago, and it's pretty cool story though. Those stories about Georgia Championship Wrestling, TNA, no, not TNA. Global Force Wrestling that lasted for not Global, but Global Wrestling, GWF, Global Wrestling Federation. Now, here's something that's funny. Okay, the WWF at the time, it was the WWF. They tried suing GWF because they're using Global Wrestling Federation. Okay, it had nothing to do with the World Wrestling Federation. Total difference, you know. Total difference, you know. But the case was thrown out. This was about money. About money. Any way of making money, no matter how to make money, you know. But the XFL, terrible idea. Stick to wrestling, you know. Vince tried the whole music thing, totally failed. Stick to what you're doing, wrestling, okay? You're not Donald Trump, okay? You will fail, but stick to what you are good at. Wrestling, man. Wrestling, dude, you know? But a wrestler, man, I mean, here's the thing. Very rarely over the years you see a promoter wanting control of the wrestler's thing, like Twitter or YouTube and Facebook, and you name it, you know. That is their thing. Okay? Like with Vern Gagne and the AWA wanting a cut from Hogan's appearance in a Rocky movie. Okay. Now, this is like that years later with the whole Twitch thing. Okay. Paige don't want to give it up. Don't give it up. Keep doing what you're doing. Don't let this company try to run your life, because when you're doing Twitch, you're doing it your way. You're making money this way. And if Vince doesn't like it, he could go fuck himself. Okay? Other wrestlers who work for him should say, hey, look, Vince, dude, chill out. Fuck off, man. This is our thing. If you don't like it, kiss our ass. I see people on Twitch all the time. They're good at what they do. It's also another alternative to YouTube, because YouTube is changing for the worse. Okay? Facebook is changing for the worse. Twitter is also changing for the worse. Not the better, for the worse, because when you have Facebook and Google who have violated Basically, they are been hit hard with the antitrust law. Now, what it is that if one company owns too much, they got too much, and they got a little bit too much power, period, where they are as powerful as the government, which that's not going to fly with politicians and shit. Now, for better or for worse, Instagram was good by itself. Snapchat was good by itself. Okay. Now, the reason that Facebook bought Instagram and WhatsApp is that they don't want competition. Period. Now, which is kind of chicken shit because, Mark Zuckerberg's name is Zuckerberg. Okay. But also, he's a great grandson of John D. Rockefeller. Okay. No bullshit. It's in the family's blood. Okay. They don't want competition. Now, what this little bastard did, he called the founder of Snapchat. Hey, I think Snapchat's a pretty good platform there. He said, someday I'm going to buy your ass out. And there's not a damn thing that you can do about it. Because Instagram and Snapchat were kind of having their little competition there, for a bit. Which is kind of good, but also, if you're a platform, you shouldn't be competing. I mean, competing lightly. Mark Zuckerberg is a arrogant, egotistical, power-hungry son of a bitch. What he is. And he has lied to Congress. He has lied to the Senate for a long fucking time. But when he got caught lying, if you notice, he started blinking, flinching. He's scared. He's scared. Now, imagine if Vince McMahon was forced to step up to Congress and the Senate with the same crap. Let's see, the 90-day rule, you can't go to another promotion for 90 days. Suck my dick, Vince. Plus, the whole Twitch thing. The whole control of the Twitch and YouTube and Twitter and shit, They want control of that. Well, I'm sorry. This is my shit. Go fuck yourself. And leave me the hell alone. But, back in the day, if you ever worked for, say, NWA, National Wrestling Alliance, or AWA, WCCW, USWA, you weren't there was no 90-day rule. Once, if you were fired, or if you were released, or if your contract expired, you could go somewhere else to work. There was no 90-day rule in the contract, but with the WWE, there is 90-day rule because just in case if they want to bring you back, they will throw you all this money to keep you from going to another promotion. They want to use you so they can make money off your ass. They're going to use you until you're as old, as wrinkled as Ric Flair's nutsack, okay? They're going to use you until you can't go no more. Which is bullshit. Now, you as an individual in the wrestling business, it's like the music industry. You can do what you want on Twitter, on Facebook, on YouTube, or there is no rule that you can't have a Twitch, you know. But it's kind of funky and fishy with the WWE that they're giving them 60 days until time when passes. You should be no longer using Twitch. Suck my dick. I'm gonna use Twitch. Don't matter. Okay? No bullshit. Now, it kind of got me because of what happened to Zelina Vega. And she should not. Zelina Vega should have never gotten fired. Never ever got fired. Okay. They were burying her anyway. They weren't giving her a push. You know, they got their. See, the company chooses people they think will be top stars, top money makers, like John fucking Cena. Okay, you know, he's made a lot of money. He's a 16-time WWE champion. Okay. Now, he's refusing to even go for another shot. How many shots has he had since 2002? They've been giving him shot after shot after shot after shot title. Motherfucker, step aside so someone else can get a push. You know? I mean, yeah, the guy's good at marketing, being marketed as the guy, you know, but he's an actor. I mean, you didn't see the Undertaker being an actor. Well, yeah, to a certain degree, but he stayed in the business. The business was wrestling, and that was his thing. He was a wrestler for a good long time. And Terry Funk, he was in Roadhouse. And I mean, he had wrestlers that were in movies, but only 1-2 films, and that was it. You know, you had the Miz and the Marine, you know. But they didn't really pan out well because the guy's good at what he does, but who likes the guy? His wife's hot, you know, but I wouldn't go as far as saying that much, so alright, whatever. The wrestling business can chew you up and spit you out, and they have you wrestle injured. You can have a torn ACL, or a separated shoulder, and still wrestle. I can understand loving the business, but wrestling injured, is it worth your life and your career? I mean, come on. If you wrestled with a ruptured disc in your back or in your neck, whatever it is, and you're willing to wrestle injured because you love the business. I love the business. Yeah. So does other people, but they're not that stupid in wrestling injured because they want, maybe they want to take some time off for the reason of, here, I got a tore ACL, an MCL, I'll probably be out for about a year. Or if you got two blown knees and you need surgery, or you got a fucked up back, or a concussion. The whole concussion thing, for the longest time, NFL totally overlooked, or basically didn't look. The wrestling business, the same thing. Okay. Harley Race, Chris Benoit did the flying headbutt for years. The Dynamite Kid, same thing. Flying headbutt. The British Bulldog had a finisher where Davey Boy Smith would do the power slam, boom. Dynamite Kid would be on the top turnbuckle, flying headbutt, for the win. Dynamite Kid retired and left the business. The Dynamite Kid left the business in '86, or around '86, '88, around there, because he had an injury. They put him on these pills. It was addicted and shit. Wasn't the same sense. Chris Benoit idolized the Dynamite Kid. Same shit. Flying headbutt. Boom. 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 And it doing that move, your brain is rattling against your skull. It's like taking a dime, putting it in a cup and shaking it, and you hear that sound. And Chris Nowinski retired after 2-3 years in the business, and he got a concussion. Yeah, it does the move, the headbutt, everything else does look good, but one of the toughest thing is the time of recovery of the concussion. And half these wrestlers, even independent scene, they get concussions, and they would need to take some time off, because here's the thing: a concussion isn't like a punch in the arm or stepping on the toes. No. A concussion is where your brain, when it gets hit, say like a hit over the chair, or headbutt thing happens, the whole boom. The amount of force that's on your brain, too much to the head, even in football. Your brain would look like you have the mind. Your mind looks like a brain of an 80-year-old, 90-year-old when you retire. Those like that. Chris Benoit's brain was tested. His brain looked like the brain of an 85-year-old senior citizen, 85-year-old man, and he was in his late 30s, almost in his 40s, man. The guy was good, but the whole headbutt thing, never do it. Harley Race, before he died, he said it was the worst thing I ever did. He said, do the headbutt? No, that was it. That was it. But there are other dark sides of the business. if you, now there was a documentary about the wrestling business. Geraldo Rivera did one about the WWF and the Ring Boy scandal, which was very controversial, along with the steroid crap with the WWE. I mean, shit, they all took it, and they won't deny it. But years later, yeah, we did it back. Yeah, I did back then. It was so long. I'm still a fan. I did have my favorite wrestlers, but most of them are retired. And the ones now, the way they act, they don't care about the business. They care about making money. It's all about the money. It's all about the money, right? Fuck the money, dude. Do it for the moment, man. Do it for the moment. Fuck the money. I mean, look, Black Bart, when he was wrestling, he didn't care how much he got paid, as long as he got paid. Where he put food on the table for his kids, a roof over their head, you name it, whatever it was. A lot of wrestlers have done shoot interviews on YouTube, which is like, wow. And the one that I paid attention to was Jim Cornette. The guy is I used to manage. He owned and ran Smoky Mountain Wrestling. That only lasted for only 5 years, which should have gone further. He's a historian too. He wasn't just a manager; he was a historian, a wrestling historian. And he chronicalized every event, everything, archive footage, whatever he did. It's all archived, And his house, his attic, is full of archives, articles, you name it. And Vince Russo. The guy that basically killed WCW at the end of his era. A lot of wrestlers, what Arn Anderson said, felt that all the guys in the locker room felt that Vince sent Vince Russo to WCW to kill it. In my opinion, I think he did too. Because here's a guy that worked for WWE, WCW, and also at TNA. To kill the competition. TNA, 20 years. I think that TNA is doing a pretty good job. I think that when you have Jeff Jarrett, who was on a Raw two nights ago, should have stayed involved with TNA. Him and his dad found the company, and somehow Dixie Carter and her family took TNA from Jeff Jarrett. I mean, come on, man. You stole a company from a guy who hired your stupid skanky ass. All of a sudden, I want to use my daddy's money to buy you out. At the time, he was having an affair with Karen Angle, Kurt's ex-wife. And they have a kid together. Which is like... And they made a storyline out of it. Like Matt and Edge. The whole Lita thing. Lita cheated on Matt with Edge and shit, dude. They made a storyline out of an actual event. Lita cheated on Matt Hardy with Edge, man. Like, what the fuck, dude? that's not good for business, man. You know, like shit. But whoever did that shit should have got punched in the fucking mouth for that crap, dude. I mean, shit. And whoever wrote a scene in the storyline with Brian, her name is, he died. Brian Pillman. Whoever wrote this thing where he had a gun in his house, a gun, like, dude. Whoever wrote that should have got kicked in the motherfucking nuts, man. Check it out. Go on YouTube. Brian Pillman and the WWF at the time. This was a rivalry between two guys who were a tag team. The Hollywood Blonde, man. Brian Pillman had that loose cannon thing going on, which is like really cool, you know. And you never heard any bleeps on TV, you know, on wrestling TV. No bleeps. Until Brian Pillman, when he did a press conference, and he had a crutch because he had a car accident and tore his leg pretty bad. And you hear a lot of this beep 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 beep, and he had that loose cannon thing still going because he used it to get out of the WCW contract with what's his name? Bischoff, Eric Bischoff. And I think now this is my opinion as well. I think that Hogan was sent by Vince McMahon in '93 to also destroy WCW because everybody was all uproar. Oh my God, Hogan's going to WCW. Oh my God, he's. But the question is, like, I remember from '84 to '92, Hogan was what, a 5-time world champion. Held the belt one time for 3 years, you know? Who's this? Let me see here. So, but Vince McMahon has competed with people over. I mean, if you go and look up Black Saturday. Vince bought Georgia Championship Wrestling, and on TBS they still had Georgia Championship Wrestling, but it was Georgia Championship Wrestling presented by the World Wrestling Federation. And I don't know why he did that. I mean, he could have. Someone else could have bought that company, but no. Vince buys the company and to the heart. I mean, don't get me wrong, but he bought out these companies because He's killing. Basically, Vince McMahon is the Mark Zuckerberg of professional wrestling. He does not want competition. He's a brilliant businessman to a degree. Okay, WrestleMania comes around once a year. Okay, and he started the downfall of WCW because every year they had Starrcade, they had War Games, they had the Great American Bash, and later on they had Halloween Havoc. And but if you are a wrestler, okay, now Hogan says wrestling wouldn't be what it is without me. Bullshit. Hogan been wrestling since what, 79, and then he retired years later. He's in the Hall of Fame now. What the fuck? Wrestling was around even before Hogan was twat-shotted from his mama's womb. Wrestling. If you go and watch the original wrestling documentary, you would learn how all this stuff started. Each territory, Canada, Britain, and here in the States, and you would actually enjoy watching it because there was a lot of controversy. Say, for example, WCCW. Smoky Mountain Wrestling. Let's see here. Let's see here. Puerto Rico. And also check out Vice, The Dark Side of the Ring. I've seen about 8 to 10 episodes. Really good. And they had one about Owen Hart's death. And Owen Hart was one of my favorite wrestlers. The guy was cool. The guy was funny. The guy was a practical joker. He made people laugh. A good guy, and there's also an episode of Bruiser Brody in Puerto Rico. The incident that where Bruiser Brody was stabbed to death, and he died, and it was covered up for years. The guy that killed Bruiser Brody I think he recently died last year. Not sure, but Bruiser Brody was ahead of his time. He was ahead of his time. A smart guy in the very smart guy in the business. He got along with some people. He didn't get along with anybody, with any other people. He was a smart guy in the business, respected by a lot of people. He was a maverick. He was a rebel in the business. He had great matches with Abdullah the Butcher and stuff. So, shit. So, yeah, check it out, man. Check it out. In my best opinion, an honest opinion, about the whole Twitch night with Paige, the WWE should back the fuck off. back off. Let her be. It's her Twitch stream. Leave her alone. Back the fuck off. Vince should go fuck himself up his own ass. Because it shouldn't be anybody's business, especially that old fucker. Back the fuck off, man. As long as she's happy at what she does, leave Paige alone. Leave Zelina Vega alone. Because if she expressed her support and unionization of wrestlers, hey, that's fine. She's what she's doing is she's thinking about the other wrestlers, not just herself, but other wrestlers, because Jesse Ventura sued Vince to keep his likeness. If you sign a contract with WWE, okay, in Vince's mind, he owns you, your name, your likeness. No, bitch. It's my likeness. I'm keeping the motherfucker. Vince told Jesse Ventura years ago that he wanted to trademark his likeness and his name. It's a no. I'll see in court. Vince lost. Okay. So he gets a check every month from the WWE. He's the first wrestler ever to get a retirement check from the WWE. He's making bank in retirement. He ain't dumb either. I mean, could you imagine if Bruiser Brody was still alive? Him and Jesse Ventura started their own wrestling promotion? Oh, dude, it'd be fucking genius, man. Fucking genius, dude. But before we go, oh yeah. Here a while back, about maybe a month or 2 months ago, I reviewed a character from the Star Wars The Clone Wars. I reviewed and showed Commander Wolf. Now, what I'm about to show you, in honor of one of my favorite clone ARC troopers, Fives. We lost him in season 6, where the dumbass motherfucker Commander Fox shot him. This is in his honor. This is, in my hand, mine is a lightsaber. This is Clone ARC Trooper Fives. See? He has his armor here. He has the backpack with all the goods, like, rations and shit like that. He has his pistols on the sides. If you look on the sides here, he has his DC-15s. I think they're 15. I could be wrong. Please let me know in the below. And on the side is the standard rifle for the clone trooper. You see there? His arms move, swivel, the waist, ball joints on the knees. If you look in the back, the guy can bend his knees, his foot, you name it. He has all the looks of an ARC Trooper. Has a five on his head, as he did in the cartoon. Has the gauntlet thing here, and he has his helmet that he could put on and off, and this here can also do that. Let me hold here. As you see here, I also got Commander Wolf. These were in the both sets. As you see, Wolf's helmet can do the same thing. As you see here, can also come down here as and you can also take off the helmet, and you see him with his scar and his Cybernetic eye. He has the same look like Commander Cody with the antenna here on the side on the shoulder part there. Except there's no thing on the side here where Cody Hass is. But I do have Cody here somewhere, and I'll find him and I'll do it later. He has the same guns. He has the DC 15s here, and his helmet looks pretty cool. It has a wolf on its helmet. The helmet can do the same thing here as Fives. It could do that. And but kind of added the lightsaber to Fives. It's a clear blade. I think that right there looks pretty cool. If it had the lightsaber there, clear blade. Here, I want to lift up the thing here. I think with this one here, I think this look with the clear, I mean, red, green, blue, no, it has to be something like this here. This is like the look of this here. I think this would be kind of cool if it was if the clones had a lightsaber, but not a lightsaber per se, but a blade, something cool. It has the shoulder pad things here. You see it's the same color, almost like Rex's. In my opinion, between the Clone Commandos and the ARC Troopers, I think the ARC Troopers are a little bit better. Because now, in the comment below, here I'm gonna ask you guys a question. This is the ending video question. Who would make if Star Wars, if Lucasfilms and Disney did a crossover, say into DC with Batman and with Halo and Master Chief? Who would make, between Batman and Master Chief, who would make a much better badass bounty hunter? Batman or Master Chief? Batman or this guy right here? right here. This is the new Master Chief from the new game that's coming out this year. Master Chief. And this is a commando. Here, let me remove this. This is the commando from the game, Halo game, that's coming out. I think that's pretty badass, man. You know, the whole look here. This is the something like that. UMS has the gun behind his back, long rifle compared to Master Chief's short. Did you look? This is the entire.
Your dad would probably take him out from under. Watch me.
But the question is, who would make a better bounty hunter, Batman or Master Chief? So if there can be no voting, just kind of I want to hear from you guys. Batman or Master Chief on who would make the best kick-ass bounty hunter. Oh, I want to throw in another one. Erron Black from Mortal Kombat 10. Again, Batman, Master Chief, or Erron Black from Mortal Kombat in the Star Wars universe if there was ever a crossover. Comment below. I want to hear from you guys. Batman, Master Chief, or Erron Black as the best bounty hunter in Star Wars if there was ever a crossover. And also, if we go, we got Mandalorian. This is the little guy here, but not the big one. Not yet. This is from the. I also got the little Yoda guy too. And this is the Din Djarin from the Mandalorian, the Beskar armor. The cape. Shit. Let me see here. Okay. The cape here can come off. Gotta pull from the back. And put on the jetpack. And there we go. Okay, we got the jetpack on the guy. And we think. Din Djarin or Boba Fett? Alright guys, I want to say play share this video. If you're new to this channel, subscribe, leave a like, comment below in the comment section, hit the bell for notification, and if we got this transmission, you are the resistance. I'm Grandmaster Evan. Knowledge is free, knowledge is power. Always stay healthy, well and wise. I love you guys, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace out.